Here is my core philosophy about wedding days. In order to be the most relaxed and present on your wedding day, you need to plan well for it. Poor planning or no planning at all will lead to stress, unrealistic expectations, and sometimes just pure chaos. A well planned timeline and wedding day allows you to set it and forget it. With a plan, some delegation, and the right vendors, all you have to do is show up and enjoy the best day of your life. Hi, I'm Morgan, a news producer turned wedding photographer helping engaged couples create the perfect rundown for their wedding day. After photographing weddings for 5 years, I'm sharing all of my best tips, tricks, and experiences that I share with all of our couples. My partner Ryan and I both met working in the news industry, and now we take a lot of what we learned in those roles and apply it to our wedding days. After photographing weddings for years and working closely with our couples to plan out their day, I've made one huge realization. Producing a newscast and planning a wedding actually have a lot in common. And knowing what the similarities are will help you create an amazing wedding day timeline. You only get one shot at this, and my goal is to help you set it up so you can be as relaxed and in the moment as possible. Let me give you a little background. As I said, before I was a wedding photographer, I was a news producer. For several years, I produced morning, daytime, and evening newscasts. I loved the fast-paced, deadline-driven environment. When I started my photo business in 2019, I knew weddings were my thing. Some photographers kill it with family portraits, senior photos, newborns, but they don't want to touch the stress of a wedding day with a 10-foot pole. I'm the opposite. I thrive in that kind of environment. The careful planning, the quick decisions, the last minute changes, capturing the most exciting day of someone's life. I realized the similarities between producing a newscast and wedding days after helping so many couples with their timelines and seeing them executed in real life. As wedding photographers, we help our couples set their day up for success so we can easily keep track of timing, adjust things as needed, and guide them through the day, all while they fully enjoy their day without much worry about what's going on behind the scenes. We plan each part of the day down to the minute, but we build in enough buffer time to make adjustments where needed. While it might seem like a lot of planning up front, in order to be the most relaxed and present on your wedding day, you need to plan well for it. Poor planning, like I said, leads to stress and sometimes chaos. Same thing with a newscast. When you produce a newscast, you start with a rundown. It's a template of the show with a start and end time and some hard out times in between, like a commercial break, for example. As a producer, I fill the rundown with news stories, all carefully timed out to fit into that 30 minutes. As I write each story, it tells me how much time to the second it'll take the anchor to read that script. And it even changes based on the anchor and their read times. Now, there are certain times with less structure, like 3 minutes for weather or 30 seconds for the anchors to ad-lib with each other. After editing the video and graphics to go with each story, you're ready for the show to start. When the show's on the air, the producer is in the booth making sure everything runs smoothly. There are, of course, several other people involved too, but the producer is responsible for the overall timing of the show and making final decisions on what to adjust, cut, add, etc. If things run late, you might have to cut a story at the last second. You keep an eye on what's coming next so you can tell the anchor to move to the right spot. And if breaking news happens, you might have to throw everything out the window and adjust it all, writing and producing on the spot. Now, of course, we always hope breaking news doesn't happen on a wedding day, but we're ready for it if it does. Wedding planners, photographers, or whoever plays an integral role in helping the day come to life acts as the producers. Just like a newscast, a wedding day has its set times and quote-unquote hard outs. A hard out would be like the ceremony time, the start of dinner, and maybe the very end of the reception. We plan things before and after these hard out times to ensure we make it to the ceremony on time, to make sure the guests get to dinner on time. We plan the times in between, taking everything the couple wants into account. We plan each part of the day down to the minute, but here's the trick. You only have a few hard outs and the rest have some flexibility. We might plan for the first look to end at 1:30, but if it ends at 1:35, that's okay because we've built in enough buffer time into the day to account for that. In a newscast, you know that a certain anchor always ad-libs for longer than you give them. If you tell them they have 1 minute, they talk for 2. If you tell them they have 2 minutes, they talk for 3. On a wedding day, there are certain parts of the day you just know tend to run long, or at least that has a higher probability of running late. You build in buffer time, so if and when that happens, you still have plenty of time for the next thing. We as the photographers are sometimes the only ones aware of it even running long, but we aren't stressed because we know we still have enough time for everything. Here's an example. We've seen a bride take 40 minutes to put her dress on, even when she thought it was only going to take her 10. We make sure we tell our couples about this possibility ahead of time. Planning for something to take 40 minutes and it actually taking 10 is a bonus. It's great. But planning for something to take 10 minutes and having it actually take 40 minutes is not good. That causes stress, delays, and forces you to cut something out that was necessary and has a negative impact on your overall experience on your wedding day. We don't want that to happen. We set realistic expectations with timing, and we always add in buffer time. We're calm, cool, and collected if something needs to change, and it's exactly how I approached a newscast, and now I use that strategy when I approach a wedding day. Our ultimate goal is for our couples to have the most relaxed, present, stress-free day possible. We produce it behind the scenes, but they're the talent, the stars of the show. They can trust that their producers are making sure everything happens when it needs to happen. They can relax, soak it all in, get the pictures they dream of, spend extra time with their partner, spend time partying with their friends, and enjoy their dinner without even looking at the clock. To me, the wedding day timeline is the rundown for the day, and each story or part of the day has its own details. The flowers, the recessional song, the centerpieces, the locations, the vows. We put those stories together in a way that flows with an appropriate amount of time for each one. I help them create the perfect rundown for their day ahead of time so they can step back and let it play out when the day comes. I've realized this is why that just as much as I love taking photos, I love helping our couples plan out the timing of their day. It's kind of an art, and it's not always one size fits all. Different couples have different preferences. Every wedding has slightly different logistics, and even the time of year can impact the timeline. After seeing so much success with the couples who follow our timelines, and by success, I mean they had enough buffer time to handle delays, they truly relaxed and enjoyed every part of their day, they got to experience everything they wanted to, and they simply lived in the moment with each other. After seeing so much success, I felt called to share my best wedding planning tips, tricks, and timeline strategies with you so you can create the perfect rundown for your wedding day too. If you want all of my secrets to creating this type of wedding day timeline for yourself, you can get the exact timeline template I send to all of my couples for free. Download our free timeline template guide with 4 sample timelines by clicking the link in the description. Not sure where to start with your wedding day timeline? Download our free wedding day timeline bundle in the description below. We're giving away our best wedding day timelines that our couples have used and trusted for more than 5 years. This bundle covers all sorts of scenarios: a first look, no first look, weddings with travel and no travel, and more. Click Get My Free Wedding Day Timeline Bundle in the description below to grab your free copy.